Who's your favorite Danganronpa character? Oh, the door's this way. So today we'll be discussing Danganronpa's most popular characters and looking into a reason as to why they may be popular. Please note that we have different experiences in the fandom, and I'll be basing this mostly off my opinion, or on stats or just stuff I've seen within the fandom itself over the many years I've been in it. I started this 6 months ago, so I'm finally glad I can finish these types of unpopular / popular videos. So do not worry, I won't be doing another one of these. However, tell me in the comments which Danganronpa characters you think are the most popular, and with the intro out the way, let's get into the video. So I'll be going in order of the games when discussing these characters, so we'll start with the first game, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In my personal opinion, the most popular Danganronpa 1 characters are Kyoko Kirigiri, Chihiro Fujisaki, Bayaka Tagami, and Junko Enoshima. Let me just say that a lot of these will be super obvious, so don't expect to be too surprised or anything, but first we have Kyoko Kirigiri. I mean, she literally helps you throughout all the trials, and over the course of the game, she gets a lot closer to Makoto, which only helps the audience get more of a connection to her and just know more about her in general. It's also the fact that we learn a lot of her backstory in the later chapters, which, as you already know, a lot of people in the fandom or just in general say that Danganronpa's later chapters are probably the best in the series. Either way, she's a great character in general, so I'm not surprised as to why she's super popular. Oh, and she has like a bunny figure because...
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Next is Chihiro Fujisaki. A lot of people don't expect Chihiro to be here, but they actually are very popular within the first game. Even though they die pretty early on, Alter Ego kind of just avoids that whole thing, since they kind of survive all the way to chapter 4, and then they go again till the next chapters, and then even in the next game. So it's like, they may be dead, but they're still appearing in new games and new stuff, so, I mean, yeah. Bayaka Tagami, in case you haven't noticed, but antagonists are really popular in animes and anime-like games. Danganronpa is no exception to this rule. Tagami is a great antagonist for the first game, always taunting you about how much better he is than you, while always talking about winning the game. He's a great character whom character development gets so much better at the end of the game, where they learn to respect others more. Some really great stuff here. However, it also might be because he's a giant meme as to why he's popular, so it could go either way. Junko Enoshima. Honestly, there isn't much to say here. She's the main villain and the mastermind of the whole series, so yeah, the whole twist with Mukuro is really well done, and her appearance alone creates so many fans. I mean, she's the most cosplayed character of all time, which is kind of crazy to think about, as her whole character is just a giant spoiler for the game. In addition to this, I would argue she's probably one of the most popular Danganronpa characters of all time, because even non-fans of the series see her everywhere and know who she is. Oh, and she even had a collab with Persona 5 as one of the main roles. Kinda crazy how far she's gotten. Well, let's move on to the second game, Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. I would like to argue that the second game is probably the most popular within the series. Yes, Danganronpa 1 is way more recognizable to people outside of the fandom. However, within the fandom, I see the second game talked about a lot more and loved way more than the other games in the series. Plus, when it comes to popularity polls of which game is better, number 2 always wins. Or well, wins most of the time. So, I would like to say that, but I'm getting off track now, sorry. I would say that the most popular Danganronpa 2 characters are Chiaki Nanami, Nagito Komaeda, Gundam Tanaka, Mikon Sumiki, and Ibuki Miyoda. First off is Chiaki Nanami. I mean, she's a gamer girl. That says everything. Next is... Only kidding, but Chiaki Nanami is kind of obvious. She helps a lot in the class trials just like Kyoko, has a very impactful death at the end of chapter 5, and becomes one of the main helping points to Hajime in chapter 6 when everybody's losing. So it's not much of a surprise to see as to why she's so popular and why a lot of people liked her later on within the game than at the start. However, most of the time, I don't really see people talk about her character or her character development, and instead just call her a waifu and then nothing more, so, eh. Nagito Komaeda. I mean, I could make so many jokes here if I wanted to, and it still wouldn't matter. It's Nagito Komaeda. I would like to argue that apart from Monokuma, since he's the mascot of the series, Komaeda's probably the most popular Danganronpa character ever. And I feel like Komaeda's impact on the fandom was massive, feeling like Komaeda fans or just people who like him are so dedicated to the character. Plus, he has that Junko effect where a lot of people who aren't even fans of the series know who he is, either because of memes or just because of how good he is in the series. He's an amazing antagonist and creates such fear for the player and the characters of Danganronpa 2. Plus, in my opinion, probably had the most shocking body discovery announcement in the series. Either way, whether you like or dislike Kameda, he's probably one of the most interesting and important characters to the series. Gundam Tanaka. His appearance is probably one of those main things people like about him. That and the hamsters. I wasn't a big fan on his trial and how the whole pineapple toast house thing went. But apart from that, I can see that he brought a lot of charisma to the game and how he was so exaggerated with his whole personality. I know people would see that as a bad thing, but I personally think that's really great and it helped him stand out towards the other characters in the cast. I still think his anime design is way better though. Mikon Samiki and Ibuki Miyoda. I'm lumping these two together because I feel like they have the same reasons for being popular, which is people calling them their waifu or people calling them their kin. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that with whoever you like and you can like whatever character you like, but when I see these characters, it's mostly just people calling them their waifus instead of like their character development. Even though a lot of Danganronpa characters could use more character development, I think that Mikon and Ibuki ended off pretty nicely, where people accepted their death but felt like they served their time through the game well, which, you know, can't be said for the other characters in the games. Oh, I also want to quickly mention that Kamara is probably the most popular in terms of Ultra Despair Girls. The game isn't that popular and she isn't really that popular compared to these other characters on the list, but whenever I see people talk about Ultra Despair Girls, Kamara always comes up and she gets way more support than any other character in the game. So I just wanted to mention that. But let's move on to the last game, Danganronpa V3, since, let's be honest, none of the characters from the anime are actually popular.
You playing Minecraft. I like it, cut G.
I just want to quickly say that some people would argue that Maki and Kaito are popular, and yes, I can agree that they are popular in a lot of cases, especially them as a ship, but I see these other four listed way more popular, like on polls and just in general, so I just wanted to put that Maki and Kaito would probably be like a runners-up for Danganronpa V3. But for Danganronpa V3, I would like to say that the most popular characters are Soichi Saihara, Kaede Akamatsu, Kokichi Omar, and Miu Iruma. First off, we have Soichi and Kaede. The whole twist between them on the chapter 1 with the murder and the switching pro tags was definitely a big thing for the Danganronpa series, and it impacted a lot of people playing the game as we've never seen a pro tag die. So it gave this fear that nobody is safe, since again, I've seen a lot of people play the game and they like automatically rule out the pro tag dying just because they didn't die in 1 or 2. So there's definitely that, and there's also the fact that they are a very popular ship within the fandom too. Both of them help each other a lot as characters and help each other grow, and if you're the fan of one, then you're most likely a fan of the other, just because of their dynamic together. Next we have is Kokichi Omar. Just like I said with the Togami part, the antagonists are super popular for the Danganronpa series. Kokichi was this little trickster where they just never hid their true self throughout the entire game, and only really picked stuff up later down the line. They have a very complex character, and in case you didn't know, but each Danganronpa game has a theme. Danganronpa 1 is about hope and despair, Danganronpa 2 is about the future and moving on from the past, and Danganronpa V3 is about truth and lies, so it's only fitting that Kokichi as the antagonist of V3 was very big on the lying. And lastly is Miu Iruma, so like whenever I see whom the most popular girl is for Danganronpa V3, it's normally between Kaede and Miu. I'm just gonna say that Miu's design is absolutely amazing. I might be a little biased here, but I really do think that she has a great character design. It represents her talent and her characters very well, since, I mean, many of you out there already know, but Miu is kind of, yeah. Similar to Chihiro, she's a very important character in the game even after dying. She creates multiple weapons, multiple gadgets for the others to use and help them in battle or just in general. Even if you hate Miu, you can't argue how helpful and useful they were when it came out to helping out. So in my opinion, it's that plus the fact that a lot of people see her as a waifu, but yeah. And well, there we have it. That is, in my opinion, Danganronpa's most popular characters. As already said, everybody's experience will be a bit different, so if I didn't mention a character that you think is popular, tell me in the comments, as I would love to hear what everybody else thinks about the topic. Oh, and before I go, I just want to quickly mention now, I have a join button, which in case you don't know what that means, it means you can become a member of the channel and support me. Obviously, you don't have to force yourself to join, and I'm not saying everyone has to, because I know some people don't have money, but it's more so there just in case you want to support me with my videos and just my content in general, since this is like one of my main sources of income at the moment. So yeah, I'm still setting stuff up at the moment. It will include stuff such as shoutouts, roles in my Discord server, exclusive posts, voting, and you got these emotes and badges for the comment section or whenever I go live. Again, it's only there to help me, and I don't want to force anyone to do it or whatever, or be like, I'm locking exclusive content there. There's no like exclusive videos there, so do not worry. It's just there if you want to help me, because I'm doing this for my main type of income. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyways, moving on. We have about 4 members at the moment, so I just want to thank them real quick. We got Dapper Kidnapper, Kakit, CA Kit, sorry about that. Random on FSG, and Monica and friends. Thank you all 4 of you so much for the support. It means so much to me, like seriously, thank you so much. Either way, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!